Hello everybody, happy Monday afternoon. Hope everyone's having a great start to the day. Meteorologist Danielle Miller here. We are in the Fox 43 Weather Center where we are keeping an eye to the sky today as we are tracking some likely severe weather as we go through the afternoon and evening. So today, definitely a day that you want to keep your eye to the sky, and of course we're going to get you through it all day long. So we're going to talk about the forecast, when you can expect storms to move through your neighborhood, what threats you can expect, and all of the above when it comes to that full forecast. So if you're joining us today and you're watching on a platform where you can comment, go ahead, drop us a comment, let us know where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, also drop those in the comments, and I'll try and keep an eye on things and answer as much as I can. I can see that Seth is already joining us. Hello to Seth and some other folks. So thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with your Weather Smart headlines today, and really the big headline, it's going to be that severe weather. Severe storms are likely starting now until about 10 p.m. and that's going to be a conservative time frame. The biggest window of opportunity for some of those storms will really be between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. But I can't completely rule out a storm lingering until 9 or 10 o'clock or so. All risks are on the table today. Heavy rainfall, which could lead to some flooding issues. Strong winds, I think 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts definitely on the table. Looking at hail, that's certainly a possibility, as well as tornadoes. A couple of tornadoes are definitely possible given today's weather setup. So a lot to get to. Once we get behind the system, things are turning much quieter. Looking ahead to your Tuesday, it is going to be quite breezy behind this system. But all in all, today's severe weather threat, much more big of a deal compared to what we're talking about through the rest of the week. So let's dive in and take a look at what we're seeing across the area. Low 80s, and look across at these cameras here. You see blue skies. Unfortunately, that's a problem. The more sunshine we get, the more fuel that we're going to have for some of those storms today. So if those clouds were able to hang on a little bit closer or a little bit tighter, we may have been able to limit some of that severe potential. But when you get those clouds to break up, you get that sunshine, it's starting to heat our air. Unfortunately, that is going to be some thunderstorm fuel. So we are looking at some of those conditions already, looking pretty primed for some severe weather as we go through the day today. So that's what it's looking like across the area, at least those cameras for York and Lancaster County, certainly. Low 80s across the board. It's also really muggy. I went out for a run this morning. I was dripping. It was really, really humid outside. I bet you guys can feel it as well. And here's the measure of the humidity, our dew points. Those are in the 70s. So again, ample moisture, ample sunshine. We've got all the ingredients in place when it comes to severe weather for today. Looking at your forecast high temperature, we'll be up into the upper 80s, warm, humid, and again, those severe storms really going to be the main player in today's forecast. So let's take it to satellite and radar. We've got a couple of showers moving through the area right now. Let me pause this and I can zoom you on in. Nothing severe by any means, just to the west of Harrisburg, parts of Cumberland County, West Pennsboro up towards Landisburg, seeing a couple isolated showers at the moment. No big deal. These are sub-severe, not causing us any problems. And we did have some storms that moved through overnight. Those, not a problem. They're moving on out of here. You can see a lot of that wet weather has pushed into parts of New England. But what I'm keeping an eye on is out to our west. Wider view, we've got this cold front that's draped across really the Ohio Valley is what we're kind of keeping an eye on here, and down, moving through Kentucky, Tennessee. This line is really going to blow up as it encounters this prime air, the air that's ready to go for some of these storms, and that's what we're going to keep an eye on, especially this section pushing out of the Ohio Valley and pushing to the east. That's going to be kind of like our biggest area or area of concern when it comes to those storms blowing up in just a little bit. So that's a bigger setup here. We are already seeing watches and warnings in place. We've got tornado watches out in western PA. That includes parts of Ohio, down into Kentucky and Tennessee. We've got severe thunderstorm watches in part of the deep south, and I anticipate that to expand later on. But as of now, no watches or warnings in place for our neck of the woods. So things are looking good. We've got Braden in joining us. We're getting ready to get you going for the day.
I'm expecting that tornado watch to come. It probably should be at any time, but
so we're going to keep an eye on that as we go on into the day. And outside of any of those watches and warnings, I want to talk about the risks that we've got today, because we have a level 4 moderate risk for a good chunk of the mid-Atlantic. That includes parts of Virginia, West Virginia, and yep, right here at home. So let's zoom that on in. You can see areas south of Harrisburg are under this moderate risk, this red color here. It's a level 4 out of 5 when it comes to that risk. And it's pretty rare for us. I want to make sure I get these stats
July
right.
2014.
Yeah, it's been since 2014 that our area has seen a day like today. So definitely something to put in perspective and to make sure that you guys are staying aware and understand kind of how high that risk is for us today. So level 4 risk for areas south of Harrisburg, the rest of the area under level 3 risk, which on its own would have been cause for concern to be weather aware through the day today. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to that severe risk. Let's time things out on Futurecast. Here's 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're watching as a couple storms start to fire off to the west. Initially, I think we'll get some scattered activity, but as these storms march off to the east, they're likely to form a line, a squall line is what we call it, and that's really what we're going to be keeping an eye on, especially as we go through the later parts of the day for potentially some spin as that moves on through. That's going to continue. We could see a secondary line. This model just updated, and it's showing a stronger secondary line here. Here's 6 o'clock, still seeing some activity. That pushes through. There's 8 o'clock, Lancaster, Lebanon, and York counties on that eastern fringe of that. And then that line's pushed off. By 10 p.m., I think most of us are in the clear. Again, that most intense window, 2 to 8 o'clock as we go throughout the day today. Biggest risks as we go on into the afternoon, damaging winds is going to be that number 1 concern, but everything is pretty high for us when it comes to this type of outlook. Tornadoes, definitely possible today. Large hail, sure. Flooding with some torrential downpours, also definitely a possibility. And I'll break down all of these risks for what the Storm Prediction Center is showing us. The damaging wind chance for most of our area, 45% chance that you're going to see it within a 15-mile radius of your location. Areas south of Harrisburg, a significant risk for those damaging wind gusts. That's those black lines that you can see. That's also something we don't really see in our neck of the woods all that often. So damaging winds definitely going to be the highest concern for us today. I'll show you that tornado probability because this is also really high. We've got areas south of Harrisburg under a 10% risk of seeing that tornado within 15 miles of your house. 15 or 25?
25.
25 miles of your house. For us, 10% might not seem like a big deal. It's a big deal.
Bottom line is that we're at top of the scale for wind. That's the highest issuance that the Storm Prediction Center gives. We haven't seen a 10% risk for tornadoes since I've been here, so that's 2015, 2016. And in the moderate risk, it's the first time it's happened in August since 2013, and the first time it's happened in our area since 2014. So if storms get fired up today, which all likelihoods is that they will, this is going to be at the top of the scale, pretty big severe weather chance for the afternoon into the early evening that we haven't had in a while. Breaking all of those things down, basically what that means.
Pretty much. So of course, as we have all these high risks, make sure you have multiple ways to get watches and warnings. If you're watching on Facebook, obviously you have access to the internet. You can be logged on to Fox 43. We'll be streaming any updates. Your phone, the Fox 43 app, if you do get a tornado warning, your phone is going to start to buzz and it's going to, tell you that you're under that warning. Quick reminder of where you're supposed to go when it comes to tornadoes. You got to get inside to the lowest level of your house if possible. If you don't have a basement, a hallway, a bathroom, anywhere without windows is really going to be the best. You need to make sure you can cover your head and protect yourself from any flying debris or anything that you might see. So a stairway, a hallway, a closet, anywhere that's kind of enclosed and is farther away from the outdoors as possible. A basement, if you have it, that is the best place to be. Now, I know some people live in mobile homes where you don't maybe have access to a location like this. On a day like today, I would suggest maybe phoning a friend that does have a safer location because we do see the most injuries and some of that damage when it comes to some of those locations or people that are living in mobile homes, just because it's not quite as sturdy if you do get some of these severe storms. So if you're able to, find a friend or find an area with a more a better structure when it comes to safety from these winds or tornadoes. Today might be a good day to kind of find that place and get to where you need to be as we start to see some watches being issued. Now, another concern of today is going to be that flood risk. I think this is maybe a lower end risk. Areas around Harrisburg, and you can see in that yellow color, are under a moderate risk for flooding, so level 2 risk for some flash flooding. We could get some pretty heavy downpours as we go throughout the evening time. I'm more concerned with your winds and your tornado threat for today. But just so you're aware, you may get some heavy rainfall as we go through the day. Some models showing that some places could get near 2 inches of rain where you get heavy storms pushing through. That's definitely going to be a concern for you. So something we'll keep an eye on there when it comes to any flooding or rainfall concerns. Now, as the system passes, again, things are quieter tomorrow. Still pretty breezy, though. Here's a look at your Tuesday forecast. It's a little bit cooler behind that front. Temperatures start off near 70. We're up to near 80 in the afternoon. Mix of sun and clouds, so not bad. I'm not tracking any widespread storms. Can't completely rule out a shower or storm, but things are looking pretty good. Notice those winds, though, out of the northwest, pretty high. Sustained winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wind gusts for your Thursday, definitely or for your Tuesday, excuse me. Wind gusts for your Tuesday up near 30 miles per hour through the afternoon. So it's going to be a pretty breezy one as we go through the day tomorrow, but all in all, things are looking much quieter as we go into tomorrow. Less humid, so briefly feeling a little bit better as well. We've got another opportunity for some storms as we go on into Thursday. As of now, not looking like a big severe weather day. Let's get through today, and then we'll keep you updated with those late week storm chances, and even into the weekend, we could see a couple of storms. I'm not seeing any questions out there. I see that Seth is tuned in. Hi to Patricia from York County. Andy over in York. We've also, Patricia says hi to Braden and I. Hi, Patricia. If you guys have any questions, drop them below. Message Braden or I. We're here with you right now. We're going to be with you through the shows this afternoon and evening time. If we do get any of those warnings, especially tornado warnings, we will be on air to get you through it. Make sure you need to be where you need to be. And yeah, I hope everyone's able to stay safe today. I'm going to wrap things up here, but if you're watching a little bit later, drop a comment below and I'll get to that in just a little bit. Stay safe and have a great